for centuries, searched for the destructive evidence of their presence in the spaces between the stars. For eons you have followed, and they have always eluded you. Until now. Now you will face your most ancient enemy in a battle for the soul of a star.
The Mercoids have flown a warp ship into the Sol Star system. Your primary objective is to gain access to the warp ship. The mission has 3 phases. Phase 1, penetrate the Mercoids' first line of defense. Phase 2, destroy the interceptor bases on the planet Lara. Phase 3, penetrate the Mercoids' second line of defense and enter the warp ship. Mercoid warp ship. There are 3 warp gates located inside the ship. Your primary objective is to activate one of these and warp to another sector in the Sol Star system. The mission has 3 phases. Phase 1. Destroy the primary computer located at the center of the interior. Phase 2. Activate any one of the 3 warp gates by disabling the orbs surrounding the opposing power pylons. Phase 3. Engage the activated warp gate by landing on the adjacent circular launch platform.